Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Guess what? We're getting everything done here this lovely morning. It is time for Live with Lindy. If I could plug my microphone in, that would be a great idea. Hi. Uh, it's time to talk a little bit of baseball. We got some good stuff. We got some good stuff coming up. But obviously, the last few days we've been sharing a lot of the live odds screen, a lot of the other goodness that we've got here at Stochastic and Odd Shopper. And Odd Shopper, they were nice enough to hook us up 30% off show exclusive deal. Generally, 15% off, the best value you're ever going to find for it. But if you've enjoyed some of the tools that we've shared over the course of these first few MLB research shows, be sure to check this out because it is really, really, really good times over at Odd Shopper. We got the revamped odds screen. I'm going to be sharing that in-game live EV, which comes into play once the games get underway. Plus, there's stuff hanging out there right now. A really good time to be checking that out in the video description box below. But of course, we're here to talk a little bit of baseball. Are we not? Are we not? Oh yeah. Why don't we have this popping up with it? What's happening? There we go. It is Live with Lindy time, friends. We have our first look at Kaufman Stadium. Now, for those who don't know, Kaufman Stadium hasn't exactly been a home run friendly venue over the course of the last few years. We go to StatCast Park Factors. We take a look. It's in our book, Reading Rainbow. I feel like I do that once a week, and we got it out of the way early this week. That's good. But we look at Kaufman, 25th in Major League Baseball in terms of home runs, comparing other players to how they do there relative to how they do at other parks. And PNC, not a great one. Oracle, not a great one. Progressive Field. Now, we saw Progressive Field kind of play up for lefties a little bit. It's had moments. See, lefties. It's 8th. It's better. Still sucks. Lefties generally had been in hell in Kaufman Stadium. Absolute hell. Vinny Pasquatch is doing the Lord's work, hanging out there, just living his life in misery. But everything we know about Kaufman is about to change. Everything we know is about to change. Doesn't hurt that if you go over to Tails right now, where we have Kevin Roth, by the way, not that anybody has noticed or anything, but Kevin Roth, WX, that's weather. He's posting his overcast weather goodness for free for the people. That was really, really nice of him. Shout out Kevin Roth. But we got ourselves Minnesota at KC, plus 16% for the home run. Now, I'm going to say something because, well, we've never seen this. What did change with Kaufman exactly? Well, I shall tell you. For the 2026 season, we moved the walls in 8 to 10 feet. I say we as though I'm part of the Kansas. I'm actually cheering for the team on the other side, so that's ironic. But 379 feet, decreasing the wall to 8.5. They added new seats. That's nice of them. It's going to be a new look ballpark. And also, fuck them for not playing on Tuesday. There's no game between the Twins and Kansas. They're the only two teams not playing on Tuesday. So we're going to get a look Monday. If they hit 49 home runs today, we're all going to be losing our shit. It's going to be whatever. But remember, the wind is out. This is like 15, 20 mile per hour gusts. It is truly going to be much different this time around. And I've done a lot of work over the last couple of weeks trying to figure out exactly how I want to integrate it. Obviously, there's some home run leagues that I'm a part of. Yeah, home run leagues. You heard me. John Legese, my guy. Legeza, he's definitely going to be cheering for Vinny Pasquantino and Bobby Witt Jr. along with me. One of our 4 teams that we ended up submitting together for that. But I am quite positive we see some major differences here in Kaufman this season. The 1.5 feet of the wall, too, is not nothing to besmirch. But it's a really advantageous first game in terms of weather. To have it be 86 degrees. Also on Wednesday, it looks like it's going to rain there and turn into 60. So this sucks. Like, we're getting one really good look at this ballpark. We're going to all salivate. Doesn't hurt to have Simeon Woods Richardson be the opposing pitcher out there. But just saying. Dew point up around 55 degrees. We got wind out towards left center and a completely different dimension. for these ballparks. Again, left and right field wall, both affected. Both affected in a pretty major way. Again, used to be 356, 353, 347, 344. This is going to be very different. Now, I will say what I say every show, and I feel like for years, it's not like sports books don't know what the weather is outside. It's not like sports books don't know that these walls have come in. Gorbachev, don't tear down that wall. Just move it in a little bit. That's what we're here to do. Hello, Father. Is this my son, Chunk the Deuce? Are you my son? How many innings for Roki today? No fucking clue. I mean, this has a massive range of outcomes. Roki Sasaki probably... Did anybody see Roki Sasaki's last start? Took on the Angels, and it did not go well. Roller coaster spring. How about roller coaster career for Roki Sasaki? Roller coaster career. How will he perform as a starter? No clue. 4.72 ERA, 8 starts. Again, and looked like it was some pretty good weather for spring training for everybody. So pretty hitter friendly. Problem is he plays in a pretty hitter friendly ballpark. I mean, I really have no clue what to make of him because they obviously want to length him out. He's been paid. I mean, you don't want to be paying that much for a closer, and you now have Edwin Diaz. Why do you need a closer? Are you still with Stochastic? Of course I am. Did MLB DFS last weekend on Friday with Greg. I did MLB Live Before Lock. Do NBA Live Before Lock every day during the week. I'm doing it again today. I'm in the MLB streets. I'm in the NBA streets. 23 games. I'm not well. 7 games in the NBA for tomorrow. Already started working on that because I'm out of my mind. Brian Reynolds under 1.5 Ks on UD is solid. Interesting because I want to drop kick Brian Reynolds. I've been working on some optimizer stuff behind the scenes for underdogs specifically, where you can just rotate around like $101 cards, $201 cards, and trying to like really encapsulate this -115 both sides of it deal. Again, that's why we've done the NBA Pick'em shows, is once they made that change, it made it so obvious that we needed to do content for it because it's advantageous. Will it stay that way forever? I sure hope so. Will it stay that way forever? I don't know. But I do know when things change, you want to be moving. You want to be pivoting. You want to make sure you get your funds, make sure you have your life in order to take advantage of such things. Now, generational wealth spot, I don't know about that, but we can definitely build ourselves up a nice bankroll, a nice number over on Underdog, unless every player on the Denver Nuggets gets hurt. And then yesterday, Tim Hardaway Jr. goes over 11.5 points when I had the under, but that's a conversation for a different day. He had 3 at halftime. I felt pretty good. Guess what? Got done recording MLB Lindy's. Did not feel good. Did not feel good. But we got under Guy Santos had under 19.5 points plus assists. Again, every time I say unders, people lose their minds. But Brian Reynolds, man, did not look good. He had a lot of spiked balls right off the get-go. We're going to take a look at kind of some of the hard hit data from the first weekend. See how it compares to last year's data. Guys like Sal Stewart, 10 batted ball events, by far the most on his team. And yowzer, like Zoe Scoob. Small sample size stuff. We are taking small sample sizes and we are trying to figure out what is real, what is not. I'm just going to say this. If he has a 583 expected batting average at the end of the year, I will eat this water bottle. I will eat it. Because then you have the greatest season in the history of hitters. That's not going to continue. 1.142 expected slugging. He's not Aaron Judge in a historical season. And obviously, Aaron Judge wasn't even up there, but not a bad weekend. Not a bad weekend of work if you can get it. Saw 47 pitches, 10 batted balls, 3 barrels. 3 barrels for the young man. There's some interesting stuff that's going to be popping up in our lives. But one of the guys, I mean, can we just group it by Ks? Because I know him and O'Neill Cruz just spiked baseballs, as I said, spiked baseballs all weekend and struck out all weekend. Just O'Neill Cruz got a day off on the second day of the season. Do you know how insane that is? Do you know how insane that is? I'm gonna tell you. What Brian Reynolds has to face. Somebody I actually have looked at the and their batter strikeouts. Lowers at 0.85x. I don't know. Did that just change on us? Like, did that change as you were talking about it? Because yeah, 2 strikeouts is a lot, but I mean, I don't know what Brian Reynolds did this weekend, but he did not play functional baseball. Yeah, it's one series, and I've always looked at Brian Reynolds as like major league professional hitter, switch hitter. No crazy pronounced splits off the top of my head. Go to 2025. Wasn't a great year for him by any means. A little bit better versus lefties. So from the right side of the plate, there's always going to be like a preferred side. Like it's very, very rare. Like Cal Raleigh, even still, considering his ballpark, considering how it's set up, I prefer him from the left side. Brian Reynolds, slightly better last season from the right side. But overall, you go to like 2024 for him. Look how he's better from the other side. See how I knew that off the top of my head? Because all I do is look at baseball stats all day. And that's an okay thing. It's a really nice way to live your life. It's a nice way to live your life. So batter strikeouts, probably staying away from the 0.5x multiplier because we've got my handy dandy underdog calculator here somewhere. Like how I always have to pull this up at some point on the show. You'd think I'd just have it on the show while we're talking about it, but also I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. 0.85x, 0.85. Minus 170, kind of your going rate for it. We can take a look at him. I was looking at NBA props before this show. Guys, the work don't stop till I walk in or something. I don't know. All right, those are total strikeouts. We want batter strikeouts. That's what we're looking at. This is the OS odds screen, by the way. It is very, very nifty. Some top-down betting just built in. You can also build out on Portfolio EV. Not every single book is advantageous at pricing every single market. When you can find those discrepancies, life becomes a lot easier on you. Helps me be able to functionally trim down the fat. We're here to trim the fat on a card. Notice how I say no to most things because I'm looking for reasons not to bet certain things. And then when we find the things that we like, it's like, well, this checks out, this checks out. It's usually just as simple as here's the price, here's the probability I assign to the thing happening, and the price is better. There's a lot more that goes into it, obviously, but at the end of the day, you can do that. And when you're just comparing markets, I mean, we can do this all day, but Brian Reynolds, oh, Brian fucking Reynolds. This is insane. I almost prefer the plus 130 based on what I watched. But again, that's where the eye test will just get you in trouble. That's where it'll just get you in trouble. It was horrific. Those Pirates, man, other than Brandon Lau, who continues to be God. He is God. Ditka is God. But just want to say, there's a lot of weird stuff there. Kalshi not posting home run odds for Colson. They know it's a lock. That's going to be other people posting it generally. Like that's how the API thing works. So it's in a lot of ways like Kalshi's not the one posting it. Somebody could go in there and post whatever they wanted to as long as they have the API key. So we just have to wait for somebody, I suppose. But how come all caps, Lindy? Always all caps. Are you not entertained? Saturday was entertaining. Sunday was so flat. It was flatter. You know what? We're not going to use that analogy. Here we go. I think the stuff is good enough that he can get through this Guardians lineup. All right. We are going to talk about, alcohol is a killing my CS. You and Spag split the duties, and I thank you both for your services. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, and I'm sorry to hear about your dad. That's awful. I've been cleaning up in PGA DFS and PGA betting. Have you been placing many PGA bets? No, not the last couple of weeks, but the Masters is next week. Valero Texas Open this week. I'm always watching it. I'm always paying attention. I'm always looking for a dollar. Always looking for a dollar, make you holler, but I have not. And I will not make one this weekend, but there's no chance in God's green earth that I'm not jamming the Masters. There's no chance. There's too much money to be made, too much goodness in our lives. All right. So I got spring training data for a couple of guys, mainly Kyle Lehigh. That's somebody that I wanted to talk about a little bit on this program. Just things that are sticking out to me, things that I think we can mine out and have a better way of going about projecting these guys. Now, this is interesting. There's a lot of interesting things going on with Kyle Lehigh, and we can look at his ground ball percentage. That's really nice already here, but can this continue? 279 pitches in spring training, and spring training, sometimes you're facing future electricians of the United States of America, which we need a lot of, by the way. We need a lot of. Electricians that's a good business to be in. Plumbing, good business to be in right now. We have AI warehouses popping up in the middle of Kansas and Michigan and fuck nowhere. We absolutely need them. But the point that I'm making is that you never know what these lineups are for 17 2/3. Did he face the A team? Did he face the F team? Yes. Some teams, if it's Sunday and the boys went out on Saturday night, they'll give every veteran a day off in spring training. And if you get that as one of your 3 starts, it's going to dilute the sample size for me. And obviously 17 2/3 innings is nothing anyway, but it gives us kind of an idea of what to look for. It can give us an idea of things we can dig into when we look at them on a whole, because this Lehigh character is at least interesting, and I don't know what to make of him. Obviously, last year, it's not a lot of sample. And sometimes I also like to go to the game logs just to have an idea, were they a starter, were they a bullpen guy? I think we can all establish, guys, he was a bullpen guy. 2, 3, 2, that's at least something that we're getting in the sample. But one thing I will traditionally see in just about every pitcher who goes from a bullpen role to a starting role is there is some type of downgrade to the stuff. The most obvious example we have of somebody having it work out very nicely for them and making a lot of money in the process is, of course, Michael King. Michael King was one of the best relievers in baseball for years for the Yankees. And they had this genius idea in 2024, it was, or 2023? 2023. They said, yo, we're going to have Michael King go from a bullpen arm. Let's try starting him. Let's give him some leash. He's, not going to be here next year. Maybe we can keep him. Let's see what he's got there. Well, he pitched really well as a starter, enough so that San Diego came in. They wined and dined him. They said, hi, we would like you to play for our baseball team. And he said, why, yes, $50 gazillion. And here you go. We got $50 gazillion now. But you can notice we went from here to here to here to here. And this is one start, so who gives a shit? But the point being, 2.29 ERA, 2.75, 2.95, 3.44. My point is that I'm always going to bake in negative regression for a pitcher who goes from a bullpen arm to a starting role. Sometimes, though, it can be like, hey, the league's seen him for a while. Hey, there's something weird in his delivery now as a starter, or he's, trying to hide an injury, but there's no injury when you're still sitting in this realm. I mean, he's still a very, very good major league starting pitcher. But where does that leave us here with Kyle Lehigh? Because I have been staring at this game for a while today, and I kind of know based on the night before. I mean, yesterday I looked at the slate for 6 hours, recorded a video late, and wanted to make sure I gave us enough opportunity to find profitable bets. We have a 15-game slate. We're going to be able to bet throughout the day today. We're going to be able to have pick 'em throughout the day today. There's 8 NBA games. My life is very, very good. But I look at this and I just don't, I should take out NBA for now. I just don't know what to make of this start for him. Against the Metsies, we got our Kevin Roth weather report here. Winds blowing across and kind of out to left. I'm going to double check a couple of other things on Wind Finder here behind the scenes. I found that when I share it on stream, my computer wants to shut down and tell me that I'm a piece of shit. I got other people in my life that can do that. Not the piece of shit part, but telling me what to do. Let's lock in. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Feels so good to be alive today, doesn't it? Little bubblegum action. All right. But I look at everything that we've got for this fellow, and it is a volatile spot. The ground ball percentage kind of freaks me out a little bit for him, and that's where I wanted to kind of dig into this data, because do I want to back him? Do I not want to back him? Do I want to target him? Do I not want to target him? Welcome to every day, especially as we get to these 4th, 5th starters on every team. It is just going to be insanity. I talked about this one last night. That's ironic that you bring it up. Braxton Ashcraft under 1.5 walks. I like it too. And I don't think either of us are wrong. I looked at that for a long time last night. I did bring it up on the video because I do like some of these markets that are a little off the beaten path, especially early in the season. Total pitcher walks. Ashcraft had an unbelievable season last year. But just to close the loop on Lehigh quick, we have a really sick ground ball rate. Disturbingly good ground ball percentage. 3.22 ground ball to fly ball. But when he does give up fly balls, they're leaving the GD yard. It's the highest home run to fly ball ratio of any of their starters that they rolled out. Jared Schuster, not good. Hunter Hayes, Tink Hence, I don't know who they are. So that can't be helpful. Mason Molina, I'm going to assume that he's related to Yadier. And he's in St. Louis, so like, that'd be a cool story if somehow, some way we find him up there. But Kyle Lehigh, push and pull, having a tough time figuring out what I want to do with him specifically, and that weather, double checking it here on my end, just looks really, really interesting. Wind finder. Yeah, wind's going out to left. And I think that's kind of encapsulated, even though that arrow looks like it's across, it is a little bit more out in my stuff. So I've been staring at that forever. But Braxton Ashcraft, when you see bright red, it's always a good thing on Baseball Savant for the pitcher. Always a good thing. And Braxton Ashcraft, do I expect him to be a 4.6% barrel percentage guy going forward? I don't think so. That is really good in 1,000 pitches. That's a really, really, really good number. But you look at some of his mix. Slider, primary pitch, four-seamer, curveball. Looked at some pitching overlays for him yesterday, and there's some okay stuff that he's doing. Again, I never played baseball. I simply come at it from the perspective of data and what I talk to a lot of my friends about. I have a lot of friends who play baseball. I have Major League Baseball friends. I have people, that are much more intelligent about this than I am when it comes to actually playing the game. But I'm very data centric, obviously, in this sport, and most all sports, because data wins. But I look at Braxton Ashcraft, higher arm angle, and this is some really nice run value here on the breaking stuff in general. Fastball spin, very nice number. Even though the fastball doesn't grade out that well, it's not like it's getting tuned up. And obviously when you have a 94%, 94th percentile barrel percentage, life is pretty good. Home runs versus expected home runs. So he should have given up more than he did. Always a nice thing to see. Is there negative regression on the onset based on the hard hit data? A wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. Peregrine Took. What is your favorite play for this show, Eric? We don't know yet. We don't know. We're about to go down the rabbit hole. Come with me. Come with me down the rabbit hole as we research the MLB slate together again. You know everyone. I don't know everyone, Michael Applegate. I wish I knew everybody. I like people. Thoughts on Terang home run? Feels like the market still has him underpriced. Really interesting hard hit data right from the get-go. So once again, we can go to some leaderboards. It's going to be very, 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 very loud. So keep that in mind. But we can look at the Brewers because they're practicing witchcraft again this year. 3-0 right out the gate. Fuck you. Ho hum, nothing to see here. But Bryce Terang a lower launch right from the get-go from last season. And this year, is he finding the launch? He sure flippin' is. If that continues, life could be fun. Life could be fun. You guys remember what we talked about last week? We want balls above 18 degrees. We do not want to have anything under 18 degrees. It is virtually impossible to hit a home run below 18 degrees. There's like 7 of them all of last year. 8 of them all of last year. We need launch. Failure to launch. Not even that good of a movie, but better than I expected it to be. I mean, we had Joe Theismann acting in that. Was it Joe Theismann? No, it was Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw plays Matthew McConaughey's dad in that. Wild shit. But 11 batted ball events. So again, a strikeout, a walk, those are things I don't like. I don't want strikeouts. I don't want walks. You know why? Because they don't have batted ball events. They don't give me an opportunity to cash in on a home run bet. Obviously, they are still going to occur all of the time. But guys who don't strike out as much, useful. We can look at him last season. The obvious thing that I've had an issue with him and that I have with Yelich is that launch angle. Does it mean that they can't hit occasional balls up there and we get above? Again, this has 8 to 18 degrees baked into the sample, which doesn't do you a lot of good. So I want to see average launch angle north of 18, 19, 20 degrees. That makes me happy. When the ball gets put in play and it gets hit hard, I have a really good chance to cash some of those tickets. If it doesn't, which again, there's a reason these things are as long of odds as they are, and we want to be very price sensitive. And one thing that made my life very easy as I was working through my process, ho hum, dum da dum da dum. He still has the highest edge. I bet Kazuma Akamoto, there we go. Kazuma Akamoto. That's a great name, by the way. Right out the get-go, plus 800 is where we got it. He's plus 750 right now at Bet365. Damn good find. I'll sock it to you one more time, get low. But if you don't have a healthy Bet365 account or access to a healthy Bet365 account, it's not probably going to go very well for you betting him long-term at plus 500. We have the true odds baked in, and it's comparing other sports books, other odds that we're getting. In Hard Rock, I'm actually okay with plus 650. I'm okay with it. It's north of my break even where I've got him higher than these true odds for what it's worth. Plus 575. You get 650 in your life, just fine with it. But a lot of betting home runs is not me knowing who's going to go yard. I have things that I look for. I have things I care about. I'm probably going to bet Rob Refsnyder. He's actually in play on underdog too. No, he's not. He was in play on underdog. Past tense was past tense. Lindy, quick question. Jensen launch angle is 7.1 degrees on baseball savant for 2026. Is that too low to take for a home run? Don't get crazy. I'm pulling these up for not entertainment value, but it's nice to see if guys have made some noticeable changes to their approach that can maybe help us hit home runs. We also have Akamoto. It's not like we've seen him play a lot of major league ball. The guy came from Japan. He's a righty. Very, 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 very small sample sizes we're dealing with. But we do want to be early to the party on certain guys. We'll talk about McGonigal, who I love his approach at the plate. Number 2 prospect in baseball for a reason. Cody Ponce, we haven't seen him in Major League Baseball since 2021. See, this is the fun of this. The fun of this is being curious and finding out what is going to give us good information going forward and what is a red herring. What's worth it? And people coming at me in BVP, oh, Aaron Judge went yard on Robbie Ray again, plus 210. And look at that ticket that cashed. Congratulations. Very happy for you. I was never betting Aaron Judge in a million years at plus 210 in San Francisco. I don't care his BVP. Does he hit lefties with gravitational pull coming from the earth? He will hit home runs on the moon. He'll hit home runs in a cavern in Death Valley. He's Aaron Judge. I get it. But you lost money betting Aaron Judge just based on BVP in his life. You lost money betting Aaron Judge every day last year. If you bet him every day at his prices, I doubt you made money. Shohei Ohtani, I doubt you made money. If you picked him on the days, again, that's the thing. We can pick and choose. Books have to put odds out every single day for every single batter. We get to choose what we bet. And I choose to bet the things that have higher prices than I believe they should, because that's expected value. That's money over a long-term sample size. But Bryce Terang, what we're looking at for him is a couple of pop flies. Again, this is going to inflate a small sample size. So first thing I see is 56-degree launch there. But there are some hard hits with some launch. 34, 45, field out, but hit the fuck out of both of those. 105.9 and a 30-degree. Hit it maybe right to a guy, dead center. That's my guess. And then we can even go in and watch some of these. Want to see? We can click on some of these and we can watch Bryce Terang. Boom. Dart. Hit a changeup. Exit velocity 100.9 off the bat, 331. Decent stuff. Hit it lower quadrant too. Got some lift on it. And Bryce Terang was awesome during the World Baseball Classic. Did some really, really good things. They were raving about him. Kind of a breakout guy. Obviously, we're happy about that. But let's keep in mind the larger sample size, the stuff that's more predictable. Maybe he has made some big differences, but I'm still a little bit worried that the launch angle isn't going to be predictive. Not saying that it can't be something that we find a nice price for and find something that can be positive EV for us. But it's always going to be a little bit easier top down for some of these home run props. I'm always looking for price probability. I'm always looking for like, hey, there's a pricing outlier. I don't give a shit where it is. Plus 600, that's obviously something that you could entertain. If you think that this is predictive, if you think he's going to continue to launch the baseball, plus 600 for Bryce Terang at the top of this Brewers lineup is a good situation to walk into. I'm not sure. And I don't have to play everything every day. If I start doing that based on a 5-game sample size, a 3-game sample size, yeah, they played 3 games so far. I'm going to have a lot of home runs on the card for a lot of guys who aren't going to hit one. And, you know, I could have 5 guys bet, and if one is plus 600 and he goes yard, I made profit. So I'm going to be selective. Very selective. But yeah, atop the lineup here, William Contreras, Christian Yelich as protection. Yelich pinch hit homers because of course he does. Of course he does. God forbid he does that when he starts and you can actually make money on it. When Duke would nuke. Is DeLauder going to continue this insane streak? We can take a look at him too. This is a research show. We're here to talk about ball. We're here to talk about ball, and we're here to find good prices on good bets. That's what this odds screen is here for. That's what we get to do. We get to take this information, all this blossoming stuff that we're finding out about baseball this year, also the ball. We can look at year over year and see how we're doing so far. How are we doing so far? How is the ball doing? Team batting stats 2025. How is the ball doing in our very, very, very limited sample size? So in 2025, let's just look at to the end of March. 14. So, I mean, obviously, you're going to have more games, less games. New York played, why is 49 games in there for a sample size? Oh, because they played a shit ton of games then? No, that can't be right. Total games. Yeah, 3. 124 plate appearances. A lot of homers. I'm assuming they started in Yankee Stadium. But the fact of the matter is that 2026, Angels go yah-yah in Houston. Seattle goes yah-yah in Seattle. Chicago goes yah-yah in Milwaukee, and they don't win a game. They don't win a damn game. They do not win a baseball game. Washington, they won the series, right? 2-1. Was it 2-1 against Chicago? That was wild. Wind out in Wrigley. But then we got some ballparks I generally would not expect to see those numbers. Against a pen, I would not expect to see those numbers. Against starters, I wouldn't expect to see those numbers. But you don't have Valdez anymore. There were some wild things. But we want to be curious. I think it's the most important quality in my friends as far as I don't want them to be curious. Not in like the by college way. I want them to be curious as far as asking good questions. I like my friends that are interesting. I think we all like interesting friends. When you're talking shit with your wife about your friends and you're just like, oh, so-and-so did this. What a crazy bitch. That's interesting. It's also interesting when it comes to studying baseball, when it comes to wanting to do this and being good at it long term. We want to be curious. Now, Holy Mother of God athletics. Nice start, guys. You had Lauer with 11 Ks. You had T&Cs 7 Ks in a row. You had double digits for Kevin Gausman in that splitter that just absolutely went berserk. I don't think we're going to see him hit 157. I don't think we're going to see Cleveland hit 195. I don't have crazy high hopes for Cleveland in general, but DeLauder, no question, have a debut. 626 x Wobicon, 54.5% hard hit. You're going to get strikeouts. Didn't get walked once. 54.5% hard hit. And Chase Estee Lauder. I said what I said. I know. All 4 are from CDL. It's insane. Estee Lauder went completely berserk. It's one series. We've seen a lot of guys have a good series in Major League Baseball history. We like that he batted second. I also like this. Stephen Vogt, Terry Francona, these are managers that know ball. They know ball. I trust certain managers. I trust Terry Francona and Cincy to be able to evaluate what's going on better than I can. I expect Stephen Vogt to be able to evaluate better than what I can. I do not expect Dave Roberts to be able to do better than I can. And that's funny because they won back-to-back World Series. And did he do a good job of pulling the trigger on Roki Sasaki? Sure. It took him a long time to realize the ills of his ways with Mookie Betts. He started to do something about it, and then Mookie Betts figured his life out a little bit. And also, you can't underestimate maybe a clubhouse guy. I don't know what to make of team chemistry in that regard, but the guy plays multi-positions. Obviously, a very important piece that they moved to shortstop. The fact that he can do that, go from outfield to shortstop, is insane. He is obviously a freak athlete. He obviously is very, very valuable to a baseball team. But can we make money off of that? Can we make money off that? Look at these bombs. And then that Oppo one I thought was more interesting to me. This Oppo was incredible. He just golfed that. That was a cut swing. That was a lefty cut swing. And Andres Munoz is just pissed because he's like, I don't think I threw that bad of a pitch. And I don't think he did. Look where he hit it from. Look where he hit that ball from. if he's hitting balls out of the zone from there and going yard, again, this is all from the zone from the catcher's perspective. So yeah, you get that, it's upper left quadrant. He threw a good pitch. As a pitcher, you don't want to be throwing it out over the plate. This is not something you see from young hitters very often. In my experience, you haven't seen this. In Progressive Field, that's not leaving. I'll let you know that. Ballparks where it's not a home run, Progressive Field is one of them. But that counts the same as 110 to right center. That counts exactly the same. Maybe you don't want to pitch this guy on the inside of his hands there. That is not a good pitch from Logan Gilbert. 3-2 count, slider. Were both of those, so those are both off speeds. Well, let's see the fastball. This was an absolute cannon. Absolute cannon. Goodbye. Take care, drive home safely. My point is that I am very, 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 very impressed by that weekend. But guess what happened? That happened. It's close to in play for me. If that is what we see out of Chase DeLauder, no walks. They pitched to him. They didn't give a fuck. They pitched to him, and he punished them. And Munoz made a really good pitch to him, punished him. Now, one thing about watching some of these and like getting in a habit of doing this every day is that, one, it's fun. I enjoy it. But two, it reminds me how many times pitchers can make a good pitch and a hitter can make a better swing. That Oppo one was very impressive. You don't see young hitters do that. Make that kind of contact. Still hit at 98, 99, 96 mile per hour, up and away, breaking away from him. And he took what the pitcher gave him. In basketball, my dad used to say that to me all the time, where it's like, take what the defense gives you. Jab step back three. Fake the three, drive to the hole. They're overplaying you. Get your body into them, create space, go board, go to the rack. In baseball, you're in the middle of a fight with a guy that's trying to get you to make mistakes. And one of the things about Chase DeLauder from AAA that I just want to point out is this. He's going to get walked. He's also not going to have a 706 ISO, so there's that. But this is where I get worried about plus 450. We all saw this weekend. He is so good at not striking out. He is so good at contact. Him and McGonigal are cut from the same cloth. And I'm just getting a way better price on McGonigal today in Arizona, Chase Field. And, not that I dislike Chase DeLauder. I absolutely don't, but he's plus 450. He's plus 450. Plus 450, 18.18% break even. That's your implied probability for a homer. I ran Sims yesterday. There's no way that I'm going to bet Chase DeLauder at these prices right now. We don't know enough. I'm very impressed. Tickled pink, in fact. Depends. They're different markets. You're betting on different outcomes. You're betting on different things. Kyle Manzardo, cleanup. Ramirez is great protection. Jose Ramirez, how many times has he gotten off to a slow start in a season and then just come roaring? And again, Progressive has played better for lefty power in the last couple of years. It is not a good ballpark variety. So Chase DeLauder has some utility. Kyle Manzardo, a lot of utility still in that ballpark. When you're playing half your games there, sweet. But Roki Suzuki's got his work cut out for him. And just to have an idea of what this bullpen's going to do behind him, I'll talk about McGonigal in a second because I'm probably going to end up betting him. Talked about him last night, plus 700. I saw my guy Grant Knifer got plus 800. I bet you've seen his videos out in the world. Had somebody post that in my channel. And then 2 of my home runs and 2 of his home runs. We have the same 2 guys. Guess what? He saw Akamoto and he saw this price. Hard not to bet that at plus 800. Now plus 750. Just fine with it. Ref Snyder, talked about him. Probably going to bet him. He should be leading off. We haven't seen the lefty starter yet. We haven't seen that situation. Ref Snyder should be leading off. You'll get 3 at-bats against a lefty. Life is good. As soon as that guy gets ripped off the field, he's going to get ripped off the field for Canzone / Rayleigh. That is what it is. Will Benson, crazy pop, taking on Pittsburgh and Braxton Ashcraft. Very interesting number, but lineup order is going to be a big thing for me with him. I want my hitters getting more at bats. I do not want him batting 8th. I do not want him batting 7th. I would like him batting 6th or higher, or I probably will not pull the trigger. All right. What do we want to get into? Oh, Roki Suzuki. All right. I have no clue what to make of his pitch count. I think it's a very good question, and I think it's very important because you have a lot of lefties sitting around in a pen, and I don't think Chase DeLauder is getting pinch hit for. After that weekend, you're not pinch hitting for Chase DeLauder. You're just not. Kyle Manzardo, definitely alive to get pinch hit for. You could get 2 at-bats. More than likely, he's an everyday first baseman, but they have David Fry, who is supposed to be somebody who can take advantage of lefties. Rhys Hoskins, I assume, makes the lineup no matter what. One's DHing, one's going to play first. You're going to have Chase DeLauder in the outfield. Kwan's still going to lead off against lefties, righties, everybody. So you got these righties to start off for the Dodgers. Isn't this fun? Isn't it fun to research baseball? I think it's really fun. Finding angles, finding edges, finding the things that people aren't paying attention to, finding markets that you can beat long term. You might not win that bet today, but you're going to win long term. Feels really good. Also, I'm still mad I didn't bet Jacob Young. Kwan DeLauder, Ramirez, Manzardo pretty much all year. I think so too, but it's that back half of the lineup that's kind of wonky. And if you're in a leverage spot where you can bring in David Fry for an at-bat in an 8th inning, I think Manzardo gets pulled against a lefty. And the Dodgers have only set up lefties. Dreyer will eat more innings. Vesia Scott, those are the guys you're locking in here. They didn't play on Sunday. Bullpen's intact. Nice start by Edwin Diaz, by the way. Edwin Diaz, World Baseball Classic 2 years ago. Really, I think, I'm not going to say that, teams like Seattle that had him, New Mets that had him, I think we all know Edwin Diaz is good, but just a reminder that Edwin Diaz is that dude. Like Trinan, he survived over the weekend too. They did not give up a run with the pen. I just can't emphasize enough how good this Dodgers team is. And I know I'm not breaking any news. Back-to-back World Series champion, but this was the issue for them last year. They were constantly putting, Band-Aids on a gunshot wound. This year, they don't. They don't have to. We don't have to close with these lefties. We don't have to think about it. We get to have a no-brainer closer. And Wroblewski, what a luxury is he is to have. But I'm really worried if Roki Suzuki has a bad outing. And you're looking at this lineup. Why wouldn't you go to Wroblewski for bulk innings? Why wouldn't you deploy him? Didn't pitch. Hasn't pitched yet. I'd be shocked if we didn't see Wroblewski eat a majority of the innings to create havoc in that lineup. And I think that definitely depreciates value that I have for some of those hitters. The fantasy king, or so I've heard. I have my moments. Stolen bases can be sneakily helpful, and then doubles are super helpful, especially when you get a walk with it. Yeah. Stolen bases are a part of baseball. They're a very loud part of baseball because they don't occur nearly as much as people think they do. They occur more now because of you can't throw over 15 times. You can't hold a runner and check 15 times. Catchers have more responsibility than ever. Catchers are very, very important to baseball. These teams have good ones. You're not going to play for Stephen Vogt and be a bad catcher. You're not going to play for the Dodgers and be a bad catcher. These are both very, very, very good catchers. Will Smith hasn't thrown anything yet this year. It's kind of interesting. But we know how good Will Smith is behind the dish. But ABS is reliant extremely heavily on catchers. They're the most capable. I talked about ABS, our first one of these. And look at this, season data already. 97 attempts from fielders. Fielders being your pitcher. Overall, batters. Again, so fielders being, catchers. Catchers and, yeah. Batters are, I'm telling you, we're going to have so many of these idiots not know what they're doing. How about Suarez? That was electric. Electric stuff from Suarez. Back-to-back humiliations. God, it's good for baseball. I don't think they even knew how good this was for baseball. Austin Hedges is so good at catching. He cannot hit a basket. He cannot. Austin Hedges is probably, well, there's a couple of guys that exist like Austin Hedges, but Austin Hedges is probably the most Austin Hedges of the Austin Hedges. Absolute moronic batter. So good behind a dish. That's why you're going to have Naylor in there. Brutality. 24% hard hit. Come on now. What is that? 128 expected batting average. You will not see many guys stay in the league this long with those kind of numbers. It's because he is so good. So good behind a dish. I'm pretty happy with this too. I mean, I'm going to try to golf one out of the 9-hole whenever I'm up there. Pat Bailey is an incredible catcher. It's hard to find better than Bailey. Bailey might be the best defensive catcher in baseball, in my estimation, in data. 26. Look at this. The run value that he saves on the base paths is insane. He is extremely good defensively. He has saved some runs. He is not going anywhere. He is going to be in baseball forever. Forever. His framing is elite. It's good to be a pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, knowing that guy's there. Not very good at blocking his rookie season. Guess what? He got better. I got better. Truly incredible stuff. Fielding run value. Last season, he was the best defensive catcher. That's not shocking to see at all. Not shocking to see at all in any way, shape, or form. So, let's try to make some money. Why did Luis Angel Acuna just show up with crazy EV? This is a pricing outlier. Massive pricing outlier on Luis Angel Acuna. Terrible ballpark. I'm assuming his lineup order is pretty trash too. I feel good about my prediction about the White Sox offense being better than expected, but I still think they suck. I just thought there was maybe value in trying to target them. Thank God I didn't bet them on Saturday. Saturday. Was that the Christian Yelich walk-off? Or not the walk-off, but go-ahead homer in the 8th? I almost did. I almost bet them every game. The lineup's just better than people think it is. 9-hole, Luis Angel. You're obviously not this. This doesn't hurt my feelings. Again, striking out and walks, the bane of our existence. We just want batted balls. We want a chance to cash tickets. Again, doesn't mean that you don't bet guys with 30% K rates. Doesn't mean you don't bet guys with 20% walk rates or 10% walk rates, 15% walk rates. I'm just saying that I prefer my hitters, especially early in the season, to give me a chance to cash some tickets. I'm not going to have a lot of thin plays hanging out on the card. Taijuan Walker under 3.5 Ks has been staring me down the barrel of a 45. This guy could not strike out anybody. Could not strike out anybody last season. Look at his splits, man. Is he going to be this bad going forward? Taijuan Walker. %16 K rate, basically. Yeah, they bumped it. They're watching. They're always watching. They're always lurking. They're always finding ways to make us ineffective. Finding ways to break our hearts. Yeah. Normal prop there. Not going to be useful. Let's find some strikeouts, though. There are some interesting ones. And again, we want to bet these early. They get bet into shape. I remind people of NFL. NFL, you have a week to get that thing bent into the shape. This, you got a tight range of outcomes. They get hammered into place very, 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 very quickly. We don't have a week. Doesn't mean that there aren't going to be outliers right before first pitch too, but first pitch is going to be the worst time to probably bet them. I generally, if something overreacts, I'll find a way. There's a -155, but a -115. Davis Martin. There's some discrepancies there. And we'll see as lineups roll out. That's the other thing. Lineups are rolling out now. We're starting to get some lineups rolling in. Let's see. What do I have in my sheet? I've got... we got the Colorado Rockies lineup. That's the only one it looks like. Oh, St. Louis in the afternoon window. San Diego already posted their lineup. Cronenworth, Tatis, Machado, Merrill, Bogarts, Sheets, Laureano, Castellanos, Campusano against Landon Ropp. San Diego gets their lineups out right away. We got Cincy's. Will Benson's batting 7th, so pass. Wanted him higher. I didn't think he would bat higher than Steer. Just thought there was maybe a chance that they wanted to move a lefty up because they don't really have any lefty power in the, period. Outside, Ellie prefers his left side. TJ Friedel, not a power guy by any means, just a good ballpark. McLean, they said he's going to be 2-hole. Francona said he's going to be 2-hole for a long, long time. So unless he just falls off a planet, McLean's going to be there. I don't know why I'm just saying this. I could pull it up here. I'm just looking at my personal stuff. We're going to go to live scoreboard and see them. So we got Austin Martin, Byron Buxton, Luke Keeschel, Ryan Jeffers, Matt Wallner, Josh Bell. Josh Bell down to 6th. Not great. But obviously he's much worse from the right side. I think we covered that the other day, did we not? We talked about Josh Bell in depth. Everybody's got a preferred side. Just that, sometimes it's really preferred. Like this. 122 WRC plus. He is better, way better as a lefty hitter. Versus lefties, got some issues. We got some issues here. And he strikes out higher. Oh boy. Get used to it, baby. Get used to it. And it's not here to sound smart. Again, I'm just being curious. I turned on a computer because I'm going to be putting in this work anyway. And so I figured, why not have a show where I show you what I'm looking at, break down what I'm breaking down. Get curious with me, friends. Get curious with me. But I love my wife. I think that's also important. But yeah. XWOBA, man. WRC plus XFIP is, yeah. I mean, we're looking at predictive stats. We're trying to figure out today how we can make money betting baseball. I'm just always here. Rafael Marchand. I mean, I like how Underdog's giving us all of the slappy slaps. It's the only reason those guys are starting to pop up. I'm assuming Marchand made the lineup and he wasn't even in the projected. Because he's not in the projected. So I'm assuming that he just popped in. All right. Oh, I saw a couple of your comments here too. Hopefully my single bets hit. Tigers money line, baby. Braves. Brewers money line. Brewers money line, I'm not sure what I'm going to do when it's all said and done. I'm keeping this weather up here as well. This is from Kevin Roth over on Tails. If you are curious of such things, you should probably follow him over on Tails. Nice to get free weather reports for the people. We obviously can see pretty good wind direction there. Pretty bad wind direction. Did this change? This was at 9.5 last night. And I stared at it for a while. I decided not to pull the trigger because I don't trust Bryce Elder to do consistent things in any way, shape, or form. Like at all. I really don't. I just don't. Actually, let's get Tails on that. That's what I had before. Let's just go back to Kevin Roth, keep him up there, and I'll go here with this. Game lines, total runs. I was surprised to see 9.5 open for Athletics Braves. It's come down to 9. I think I'm more in line with that, personally. Still felt thin. Get Penny up here. Penny's the priority. And DraftKings, I'll get FanDuel as well. Totals come down. I mean, there was a much higher price this morning and it's dropped. So this was on the over, by the way. On the under, the inverse. Because if it weren't true, well, that'd be fucking weird. See how we're losing. It's getting bet down. I think people realize this weather is not as advantageous. Again, not enough data. I don't care about last 5. That's not something I care about. Other people might. I don't. Definitely something to keep in mind. Like we could have played under 9.5. I could have gone in and said, oh, closing line value. Look at us. It was like minus 115, I think, was where it opened at, 9.5. Now it's at 9. There's starting to be some 8.5s wrinkling in. Do I expect the Athletics to strike out at the highest clip in baseball? No. No, I do not, but they did against Toronto. They did against Toronto. I'm on the under of this. I took Rockies Blue Jays under. Rip to me. And I have 2 home run plays. Varsho, Okamoto. This is the projected. I think Okamoto has a chance to bat a little bit higher. Could be good. Could be good. But Brewers money line is fascinating to me. And I did want to see where that was moving at. I think Kyle Harrison has a chance to have a really nice year. Obviously, he doesn't have a better catcher. We have established that. Patrick Bailey is the best in baseball on the defensive side of the dish. Change in scenery doesn't hurt. The ballpark's going to be worse for him, but it is less spacious. Less doubles and BABIP to get you hammered. Less whiskey to get hammered in Milwaukee. Well, San Francisco, it's like, oh, did I have any like good drink in San Francisco is a weird place. I'll say that. San Francisco is a weird place. They want to be hipsters, but they're not hipsters. You know what I mean? Milwaukee, they know who they are. Cheese curds, Miller Lite, call it a day. That's what they're here for. But I hope Kyle Harrison figures it out this year, because there's a lot of interesting stuff with Kyle Harrison that I like. I was pretty high on him coming in 2023, and it never really came to fruition. You look at his minor league numbers. Pull that up here as well, but last season, very, very abbreviated, very, very short. So not much to take there. But coming here, really high strand rate. This is not going to be, I mean, it helps to have Patrick Bailey, I would guess, but Patrick Bailey was just getting incorporated at that point in time. Really good against lefties, but doesn't really have the same kind of strikeout stuff coming from AAA against righties. Against righties, it has been much tougher sledding for him. In career numbers, we'll take it off the splits tool so we can look at stats for his career. And the other thing we haven't talked a lot about, just the stuff. His fastball, very limited sample size, 107 stuff plus. 111 on the slider. There's something here with Kyle Harrison. He's starting to figure it out. And of course he would figure it out with Milwaukee, because Milwaukee finds ways to overachieve all the time, right? Like, that's just what they do. That's just kind of how they go about living their lives. So Kyle Harrison has so many good things. Also, where did that go? Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But overall, Kyle Harrison, I hope that this can be a year that he can really put it all together. Doesn't hurt to have it be Tampa on the other side. There's some very quality hitters. We saw a really good series from Andy Diaz. Jonathan Aranda left on left, not going to be something that scares me off a lot this season. He's going to get a lot more lefty at-bats. He had under 100 at-bats against lefties last season. .98 plate attempts. This didn't shake me off opening day. Did not. Against Liberatore, and he goes, yeah. Carried the day. Felt pretty good about that analysis. Only the one homer. Didn't matter. Didn't scare me off. If you let him know he's going to be an everyday player, life's going to be much, 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 much better. And here we are. Velotti getting the 2-hole against lefties is just still. It's something. It's something. So Ryan Velotti, what bugs me about him is that he's batting second as a platoon guy without really getting on base. And I want to, like, when you're looking at hits plus runs plus RBIs for like a Jonathan Aranda, Junior Caminero, I want some of those balls to kind of turn into runs. I want some things to break your way. And I don't get the Ryan Velotti thing. Maybe. Again, Tampa Bay, another team I'm going to trust more than Washington, that I'm going to trust more than Colorado, that I'm going to trust more, I guess not than the White Sox, because the White Sox did a lot of really good things that I liked this summer. The Athletics have guns to everybody's head to make them sign cheap deals. So shout out them for that. I trust them more than St. Louis. St. Louis has no clue how to develop baseball players. So maybe there's something going on with Ryan Velotti that I'm not seeing. It might also just be that this is going to be a weak spot for them and they realize that they want to be able to sub it out based on matchup. But I just don't find anything all that interesting with him in the 2-hole. I didn't like that on opening day. I don't like it now. And that's where he's projected everywhere. I might end up shorting Ryan Velotti. That might be our better path than taking Milwaukee money line. Man, that is a pricing outlier on Bet365. I mean, it's a guy in the 2-hole who's plus 170, surrounded by Yandy Diaz, Junior Caminero, and Jonathan Aranda. And he's plus 170. That should tell you that they are aware that he is not very good either. Total bases, probably a little bit thin for me, but just hated that look. When you don't have Brandon Lau there this season, yeah, you're going to have some weak spots, but don't make the weak spot your 2-hole. Go Yandy, Caminero, Aranda, and just call it a day. Do whatever you want. Bury him to the 7-hole, 8-hole. Let him get 2 at-bats and figure it out, but they obviously want him in versus lefties. And then, again, they could turn that into a lefty later on. You're probably getting 3 at-bats, though, still, against Kyle Harrison with the platoon. Go to 2025. There's not a lot of data on him, but God, just, I guess the walk rate is somewhat appealing. What was his on-base average? I guess that's such a small sample size. It's like meaningless sample size. Meaningless sample size. Curious one. Curious George, curious little monkey. I know sport ball sometimes. Luis Matos traded to the Brewers. What? That just came in. What's funny to me is the fact that my high school held graduation, what is currently the athletic stadium. The A's are legit playing games at a place, a high school day graduation. Yeah. They're playing in a great ballpark for hitting. Got Brandon Lau in fantasy because of how much he blessed. He blessed us. This is the thing to be worried about with Brandon Lau. Wait for home games. Wait for home games. I didn't take him anywhere this year. I will be deploying him on the road. I will not be playing him a lot at home. I mean, he hits a lot of no-doubters. Cruz hits a lot of no-doubters, no question. But 3-year rolling average for lefties. That is a tough ballpark to be walking into. That is a very, very difficult ballpark to be walking into. Last season, dead last for lefty power. There's some doubles, there's some triples. There are not a lot of home runs to be found for him. And again, home runs, we're looking for a very particular set of skills. We're looking for north of 20-degree launch. We're looking for 98 when you're playing in PNC. We're looking for some really hard hit balls with some launch. It's going to be a tough ballpark for him. What's the lock of the day? I don't have one. I don't have a lock of the day. But I have some good plays. I have some things that are really sticking out to me. Velotti probably not going to be it. Man, Bet365 is just begging you. I'm not going to get my account torched for Ryan Velotti and backing him nevertheless. I think this might be my favorite play of the day right now. I think this might be my favorite play of the day. You're not going to play it here. But the reason I've had Underdog pulled up for these shows is it's the easiest way to access pitch count on a fly. 52, 58. That was 2 weeks ago. They've been working him up a little bit. He's getting paid a lot of money this year. 15 mil? I think it's 15 mil that I saw last time I looked. $17 mil. He's making 17 mil this year. More than I thought. Obviously, a lot of injuries. Obviously, very limited starts, and it didn't go particularly well last season. But he's healthy right now. And the stuff generally still looks okay to me. This is obviously the pitch. This is the pitch. It tapered off a little last year. But he's never really been particularly good with a fastball in general. He's never been particularly necessary in that regard. And obviously, this is a huge dip off from the pitching plus, but I kind of look at this Boston lineup. I'm on his strikeouts already. But I might add on with over 14 and a half outs. This is an Astros pen that I think did a little bit more work than they probably wanted to. And again, they're going to be cautious with the $17 million Lance McCullers, who has a slight, like, his curveball is good. It has been, it will be, it's good. There are some very scary Will Abreu type Boston bats. And we're going to see Ranger Suarez as well. But Lance McCullers is generally going to strike out lefties. Didn't pitch. He strikes out lefties. This is what he does. Knuckle curve action, changeup action, fastball, not very good. So generally speaking, when you look at like Stuff Plus, you're going to look at the far left side of the screen and just kind of assume that's their primary pitch. Not the case. Not the case when it comes to Lance McCullers. Lance McCullers and pace, everybody gets a lot quicker. It's funny seeing his pace before pitch clock, because obviously he didn't pitch in 2023, 2024. And then coming in and, oh shit, I'm on the clock. He might have had a little bit of he got to work in AAA and work up, but probably less familiarity with it than everybody else, where we don't even think about that anymore. There's probably a lot of things that caused Lance McCullers to suck last year. Mainly the stuff did taper off, but I think I want to be invested in him early. He got a rotation spot with Houston still. And Houston, they have high hopes every year. They're an AL West that's much more difficult. The Angels lineup, we saw that this weekend. They can be very functional. And not just functional. There's 7 guys over 100 WRC plus against lefties, 8 guys projected for a WRC plus over 100 against righties. And Seattle. I mean, duh. See how Texas does this year as well. Interesting stuff from Texas. Kirk, Goodman, or Gustin? Save some for later. Ramirez for my fantasy baseball team tonight. That's probably going to be, by default, Agustin Ramirez. Highest lineup order. I mean, is it a roto league? Is it a head-to-head points league? I'll take the guy batting second. Kirk could fall back. It wouldn't shock me if when we get that lineup, have we gotten that lineup? I'll take a look at my sheet. Toronto Blue Jays confirmed. That's literally the last one that rolled in for me. Akamoto is batting 7th. So Kirk is batting 5th. Zagano has some power. And again, I'm on the under of that baseball game. I think it is me trusting that Ponce is going to be able to do it against Colorado because he did it in the KBO. And there might actually be some KBO comparable lineups to Colorado. I know that's like, like when people bring up, oh, Alabama could play this NFL team. No, they couldn't. Bama would have gotten rolled against the worst team in the NFL. Just absolutely rolled. Baseball, with what Colorado rolls out on a day in, day out basis, with no Mickey Moniak, I think Cody Ponce could be in for a pretty good outing. Sub 2 ERA and KBO last season. Somebody that I had my eye on for this first start. I thought Toronto, you were not going to get a run line price that I thought was going to be advantageous. And while I woke up to a lot of home run prices that I liked against Sagano, I think it is interesting stuff. Let's see. Let's find this. What do we got here? Lance McCullers. We're done with that. Sagano, that's who I was going to pull up. Went on a detour because I'm in 2022 data. It was breaking my brain. Yo, not great. Baltimore, good ballpark for lefty power. Let's get him out of there. Let's get him in the Rogers Center. Give up a couple solo shots, specifically to Varsho. That'd be great. Specifically to Okamoto. That would be great. These would all be good things. These would all be very, very, very good things. But overall, no matter how you slice it, no matter which way you look at it, I think the back half of this lineup, Clement Jimenez, and this entire lineup, pretty advantageous for today, for that under. If it's still at 8.5, that would actually probably be my favorite play of the day. Nope, it's at 8. Well, nope, there's some 8.5s, but it is juiced towards that under now. Less over it. No, 8 at DK here. 8.5, minus 110, bet 365. Traditionally going to give you the best odds in the baseball streets. So keep that account healthy, friends. It's a good friend to have in times of need. But Alejandro Kirk, this is his superpower. Very good. Very, very good at avoiding strikeouts. Very, very good. You are not getting gypped at the plate from Alejandro Kirk ever. Ever. Tomoyuki Sagano. Just don't get completely shelled today. That's what I ask of you. Okamoto, though. Hi. How are you this fine day? 18.4 degree launch angle right out the get-go. Kazuma Okamoto, I will bet you at a pricing outlier, plus 800. I will absolutely do that every single time. That was a home run click. Castillo, they're just begging me to go against everything that I don't like about him. And Lehigh as well. That ground ball percentage, man, I think not available in Pick'em right now, but I think that that's also somewhat in play too for the people. We'll see when I kind of put my entire card together and I finish everything out, whether or not he makes the cut. Let's do this. Chase Field roof is open. 7:10, 6:40 tomorrow, so it'll be even a little warmer at first pitch there. That'll be fun. 12:40, open roof at 12:40 on Wednesday. Get yourself ready for 95 degree baseball, 90 degree baseball on Wednesday. Well, why did I just type in my spot? Not as hot as I would want it to be. 90. First pitch, 86 tomorrow. Today, first pitch. 91, 96, 84 until 9. I mean, why don't we start where all good things start, with Kevin McGonigal? If I could spell the damn name, that would help. There we go. Let's get that in now, shall we? Oh, I'm still so mad at you, Jackson Merrill. I'm still so mad at you. What a jerk. I feel like the entire world's going to be on him too. I don't care. Bitch better have my money. All right. Let's win $225. Well, win 200 on Kevin McGonigal. That would be awfully fun, wouldn't it? Plus 700 prevailing number there. Maybe post something if you can. Post something if you can. Probably the weather spot that gets less love because of what Chase Field is. Despite Ketel Marte, despite Corbin Carroll. Not particularly great, but roof open air from the left side. It is a brutal ballpark for lefty power. That's why you're getting that price. But it's a kid that I'm just going to be there. You got to bet him at the price that he's at now. It might not last long. And again, not like Detroit is some phenomenal ballpark for power either. Thoughts on Kevin McGonigal for Pick'em? Well, he's batting 6th, and whenever I'm looking at hits plus runs plus RBIs, I'm also looking at and attributing a number based on, well, you should always do this because, you know, it is what it is. For a home run, you're looking for one event, you're focused in on one person. You're looking at the environment, you're looking at open air, you're looking at everything across the board for that one person. For hits plus runs plus RBIs, you're taking into account what's around you too. And for Detroit, there are... Torque doesn't suck. Riley Green strikes out a bunch. There is that. And Dylan Dingler, Parker Meadows. These are guys that are pretty fascinating. But what surrounds you impacts Kevin McGonigal. I need him to get knocked in. I need him to score guys that get on base. And you go back to last season, because obviously we don't have it for McGonigal. But Michael Soroka, pretty good strikeout stuff. 188 ISO against lefties. Got a little bit unlucky there. Been better against righties, but Dingler, fine. 334 xWOB is pretty nice, especially when there's positive regression on the onset. Parker Meadows, he's out there for righties. Does not face a lot of lefties, Parker Meadows. So that's going to be pretty true to the sample size. And in front of him, you get Torque, which I feel pretty good about. If he hits a home run, that obviously doesn't help us. McGonigal hitting a home run helps us, obviously, because then you cash that one pretty automatically. But I want to look at Torkelson here, too. Under pretty heavily juiced there. McGonigal. Better prices. Don't think it's a very good pick-em play. It would be a bet at even money. It would be probably a thin bet at that. But you're just asking for different things. I mean, we're not getting paid what I think we should. I can check that after this show as well, but for the most part, I think it's going to be a pass for Pick'em. Most of the good Pick'em plays have been in the total pitching outs and the hits department to start off. They did nuke hits today on a 15 gamer for what it's worth. I didn't see any market-based hits plays right off the gate. So we can just go by true odds. We're going to scroll somewhere to the middle because I can guarantee you Underdog is not going to have a low-hanging piece of fruit until we get way further down the board. So basically, looking at the total hits here, minus 174 for Jonathan India, minus 218 Underdog. It's going to take a while. I did find one that I liked for what it's worth. Danny Jansen. Here we go. Jock Jams. Going to be pretty thin at the moment. Now, one thing that's always difficult is they also will have the total bases market, the 0.5, and somebody might be listed there and they won't be elsewhere. I think Prize Picks doesn't even have anybody listed in the hits department until we get way further down the board. First guy listed, Kyle Karros. What a time to be alive. First guy, unplayable on Underdog. Brian Rocchio, I feel like is eternally somebody who pops in this market. Caballero, probably a little bit thin, plus 105 over on Bovada. You're going to bet him for a hit, you might as well just bet him for a steal. Sagano went to the Rockies. Yeah, it's going to be really, really wild. Yeah, Bet365 continues to kill it. What up, gang? What up, J-Main? What up, J-Main? Are you familiar with the Seager stat? I am not, actually, so I can Google it. Oh, Baseball Prospectus. Yes, I've seen this before, but I've never utilized it in anything. I've never used it for personal purposes. Selective aggression. Interesting. Interesting stuff with that. I'll take a look at that afterwards. Always curious. Always curious. But you guys can see here as I'm sharing the Odd Shopper tools. Again, it is just insane to me. Insane to me. How much there is to mine out of one specific baseball slate. Didn't really see anything outside of Danny Jansen, and not even got ripped off the board. I played him on Prize Picks with some NBA stuff for the premium Discord and obviously my personal stuff, but that was definitely more of a pick and play. It's playable at minus 120 for what it's worth. Everything's bigger in Texas, or in this case, Baltimore, because that's where we are. Chris Bassett on the mound. New team, new situation, but last season it's a lot better. The main reason that it is priced where it is lineup order. So those are very functional numbers for a major league catcher. Most catchers suck this day and age. Reading the good news on the newspaper page, but projected lineup still, I think we're still waiting for that one to roll in. Unless I see it here. Nope, still waiting for it. Still waiting for it. Jeremiah Jackson hit some smoked baseballs. 3 smoked baseballs. Doesn't do us a lot of good if you're betting home runs. But Jeremiah Jackson smoked some baseballs over the weekend. Too small a sample size, not anything that I can really mine out of it right now, unless you just had a red herring number, but of course there's a red herring number on Bet365. Right after I say that. See, it doesn't even look like they assume he's going to be in the lineup for what it's worth. So that's funny. Swing more pitches in the zone are likely to yield better at bats than the guys who chase, for sure. Absolutely. I love that. I will definitely be taking a look at that afterwards. I've got it pinned right now. Seager at the team level. Just prove I'm not lying. There you go. I've got my own little thing in the corner here. But I got to keep some of my thoughts. I got to keep some of it. But Jansen, not available on Pick'em anymore. That's kind of hurtful to me. Can't really back him here. One nice thing is we do have the alt lines tab now on OddsShopper as well, where I'm able to take a look at what 5 at Pick'em or 5.5 at books. We can really do a good job of finding every single piece of a market. Like lately in the NBA, I found a lot of value just by going up a point and a half, snagging some plus 150, plus 175, plus 200 when it shouldn't be that big of an upgrade. Haven't found as much in baseball yet, but I guarantee you I will, because I'm going to be looking. Ryan Weathers has a 5.5K prop today against Seattle. Mother of God. 4.5 here at minus 155. Insane stuff. I'm going to stay away from Chase Burns today. I've had enough. I've had enough of looking at Chase Burns for one day. Hey, if you didn't know this, he throws really, really good fastballs. Chase Burns. He gets a lot of strikeouts. His line is also 7.5. Bubic to round it out. I've had a lot of Chris Bubic questions throughout the day. Yesterday on Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Today, a couple of people in Premium Discord as well. So I do want to at least bring this up. Chris Bubic had an unbelievable year. In fact, like the best, it is very difficult for me to look at the Minnesota side and want to do anything. 154 expected ISO. 220 expected ISO against righties. So there is power there from last season, but look at this. Very difficult. In fact, if you just look at today's slate, probable pitchers, and we group it by home runs per 9 from last season, unbelievable stuff. For a fly ball pitcher to do what he's doing there. Now, wins out, shorter fences. You've hit the gamut on all of that. And you want to go to a different year for him? It stays consistent. I don't know. I think it's really hard for me to click on anything Minnesota today. Probably be shorting him if anything, but just so good at avoiding the barrel. Simeon Woods Richardson is not, which is probably why you've noticed. Sportsbooks know weather and ballpark fences coming in too. Keishel plus 800. Plus 800 for Keishel. Ryan Jeffers smacked some baseballs. Probably the most impressive Twins hitter over the weekend. Just digging through it, because of course I'm curious. Not great plate discipline. Smoked some baseballs. 3 of them again. Seems to be like the prevailing number. Right out the get-go. Nothing to show for it. Righty power is dead in Baltimore. Have fun, Pete Alonso. Not going to see him on my card recently with some of these prices. Good Lord Almighty. But Simeon's Woods Richardson has some major problems. And I know this is the game starting in like 30 minutes. So I'm going to cover this and I'm going to get the heck up out of here. But Woods Richardson, better against lefties. Horrendous power given up to righties. 220 expected ISO. Ballpark dimensions, completely different. Weather, not helpful. A lot of things that are kind of issues there. Been staring at Carter Jensen for a long damn time. Fantastic numbers in a very small sample size last season. 293 pitches, 10 barrels out of 48 batted balls. Again, another guy that I will eat my water bottle if he has a 20% barrel percentage. I will actually eat my water bottle on stream for the people. I don't put things lightly in the corner, even when they're leans, because I know people are always watching, always caring, always making sure that I'm giving the best information that I possibly can. This is just so damn close to being on the card. It is the only thing that I found digging through that entire game that I think is worth our while. And getting him confirmed, batting fifth again, it's kind of where he's going to be. I'll say this. I don't think you're going to get anybody ever really pinch hitting for him here. He's hitting as a lefty. Maybe you get Lane Thomas just in the DH spot where it comes in, but like, don't you still give Carter Jensen those at-bats? I've just been tossing and turning in my sleep at night over Carter Jensen today. Yes, tortured Minnesota sports fan. I used to have it up here, and then I went Iowa State during the tournament, and nobody cares. Not anybody cares, but I'm definitely a tortured Minnesota sports fan. I'll change it back because Joshua Jefferson's injury is still haunting me. But lower K rate here to the lefties. There's obviously no problem whatsoever with that. The problem is that this is not a problem. There are some guys who smack some baseballs on the Kansas City Royals. Smack them. Watch. I'm going to bet it. And he's going to get pinch hit for in his third at bat once Richardson gets blown up. Absolutely going to call it. It's not something I want to call. Just hit a home run in your first at bat and we don't have to worry about it. But making my way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. One more perusal of the odds board here. We're just going to sort it by edge. Vinny Pasquantino at 2.5 has some edge. Market-based. Plus 130, plus 115, some other shops. I'll double check some of this here as well because I'm going to watch this game. We're all interested to see these Kaufman offenses in play. I just don't want to say that I know for sure something's going to occur. This might be a nice way to do it. I might add a little bit of something on the Carter Jensen side of things here. Make my life feel a little bit more normal. Luke Keishill's borderline pick'em. Very borderline pick'em. Not that I expect Bubic to be particularly awful or anything. Had a great season. My Twins against lefties, I just don't like them. I'm not going to like this lineup against lefties. We're starting Ricky Martin up at the top. Buxton. Good hitter, obviously. Keishill. Never very good strikeout rate. Got to work on some stuff, though, my dude. 205 BABIP. That's got to improve. Jeffers. Wallner. Do we have Wallner batting fifth today? We're just going to play him every day, are we? That's going to be what we do? We're just going to play Matt Wallner every day. Cool. Josh Bell hates batting from the right side. Victor Caratini, another guy, just really, really tough sledding for Minnesota this season against lefties. Going to be a tough time. Carter Jensen if you want it. Carter Jensen if you need it. Anywho, my friends, that's going to do it for a research stream of goodness. Lots of great talk, lots of great discussion here. That is for sure. But wanted to throw this out there for you. Woo! The Odd Shopper plans 30% weekly or monthly. Lindy OS, that's the promo code. If you're looking for an odds screen that can help you find the best value for the sports book in your state, you can change out the states, you can change out to just be pick'em. So many great ways that you can take advantage of the tools to help you make more money long-term during this MLB season. It is a long one, friends. We want to be smart about our plays right from the get-go, but this will help you be smarter for sure. I can help you out with it as well on these streams. We can talk through the process. Lindy OS, that's good. And this is obviously the last day of this. Woo! Promo code first pitch, 50% off a month of the Lindy and Friends Discord. I want to get all of my bets, all of my plays, not just talking through the research, not just sitting here on my pulpit on Sunday. It's Monday, but that was the joke. I don't know. 50% off a month of the Lindy and Friends Discord. It's less than $1 a day to check that out. So both of those available for you. Really, really good times. But I'm going to go get a couple of bets in here for this Twins game, figure out exactly what I want to do with it. And we're going to have ourselves a great baseball day. 15 games there, 8 in the NBA streets. I'll be on NBA Live before lock on the Stochastic YouTube channel talking DFS, Daily Fantasy Sports on DraftKings and FanDuel for the main NBA slate. So with that, my friends, have a great day. I'll see you back here tonight for Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, MLB and NBA. Catch you later.